We've got some interesting new information tonight about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. When she ran for office last year, she described herself as an enemy of big money in politics. Watch.
This really speaks to the corrupting force of money in politics in general, and this problem is not going to go away until we tighten the reins on the role of money in politics. I really hope that we really introduce and pass very strong legislation that's going to put much stronger limits on how special interests and how money can be moved, especially when they interface with campaigns.
Yeah. She doesn't like when money moves and interfaces with campaigns. Of course, Ocasio-Cortez is also a sworn enemy of carbon, but that didn't stop her from taking hundreds of Uber rides when the subway was just a few feet away. She may feel the same way about money, for you, but not for her. A new FEC complaint accuses Ocasio-Cortez's chief of staff of diverting $1 million in donations into private accounts, apparently to obscure how that money was used. If true, the complaint could result in prison time. Ocasio-Cortez was confronted about this allegation today, and here's what she said.
There is no violation, so there's no violation. Do you think that's a sign of you taking dark money? Oh, no. I'm 100% people-funded. Thank you.
She's people-funded, she wants you to know. Speaking of people-funded, Melissa Francis, who hosts Outnumbered, also one of our all-time favorite people on Fox Business, joins us tonight for an update on this story. Hey, Melissa.
Hey, Tucker. So here's what this really boils down to in my mind. So it should be noted that the group that brought the complaint to the FEC is a right-leaning organization. We want to say that up front. But if you boil it down, basically what she and her chief of staff are accused of doing is moving almost $1 million from a PAC fund that they controlled over to an LLC, a limited liability corporation that they controlled. So were I her, I would ask this gentleman in the photo here, who is a multi-millionaire, tech and finance smart guy who's running her campaign, I would say, hey, why am I moving this money, these donations that were made to me from this PAC over to this other account that I control? I control them both. Why move it? What difference does it make?
Yeah.
Well, one difference could be, look at the rules that govern both. And the rules that govern a PAC are very clear and much more strict about how much you can spend, where it came from, what you have to disclose, how you list things. When it's an LLC, a limited liability corporation, the rules are very different, much lighter. And she marked a lot of stuff, strategic consulting. And you can do that rather than itemizing things. Now, is this illegal? I don't know. Both sides are going to have their arguments in court about this, no doubt. And by the way, the rules that govern campaign finance are written by the very people in power who are trying to hold on to it. So talk about the fox guarding the hen house. So the people who wrote these rules that she's saying, we're going to rewrite the rules, more people who have come to power and are trying to hang on to it. So is this legal under the rules? I don't know. We have people saying it's not. Both sides will argue and we'll see. But what's interesting is you just have to ask yourself, why did you need to move it from one thing you control totally to another thing you control totally in order to make the expenditures? It sounds like that dark money that she's talking about, but we will see when they investigate.
Well, quickly, the fact that we don't know anything about it, the fact that it's not itemized, doesn't that, by definition, make it dark money, or at least opaque money?
It doesn't make it bright money. It doesn't make it transparent money. It makes it obscured money. At the very least, it is obscured. There is not a bright light shining on it. But Tucker, you made the point before. Think about what socialism is. Like, the very definition is a government takeover of the means of production. It's a power grab.
Yes.
That's what she's been all about, is a power grab. I'm in charge. I'm the boss. We go to Washington. We decide. We get the means of production. We get control. And we tell you all what you get. It all has the same theme if you boil it down to its most basic sense. So she doesn't want other people using planes, but she'll use a plane going back and forth between D.C. and New York because she's important. It means she's the ruling class. She's powerful.
Exactly.
She's important. So she gets to do these things. But for you and me, we're just, the serfs along the way. So we shouldn't, have a carbon footprint. We shouldn't do all these other things. And I
will
think
see you on the bus, Melissa Francis. They have Wi-Fi.
I love the bus. I love the subway, the Q train. It's right by my apartment. I'll see you there.
Melissa Francis, one of the best. Thank you very much.